Hello PotterHeads, I am Sahil back with another video, and this video is about the short story which I have made for you. It's the Harry Potter and the Potion Thief. I hope you will like it, but before that please remember it that this story is not affiliated by Warner Brothers or JK Rowling. So let's start. It was a pretty sunny day. All the students were getting ready for their classes. Our Harry and Ron were also doing the same. After a few minutes, both the boys went to their potion class. Today they learnt about an all-new potion which was discovered by Professor Snape, which can give infinite power to the drinker for half an hour. All the students were so amazed about the potion. The class ended, but the potion was still everyone's mind. Professor Snape left, and after a few moments, Harry has to ask Professor Dumbledore about Sirius Black, and so he went to Headmaster's office. And there he saw Professor Snape talking with Headmaster about the potion, and Professor Dumbledore took the potion and placed that inside his drawer after seeing Harry, and said, "Yes, come in." Harry entered, and Professor Snape left the room. Harry asked Professor Dumbledore about Sirius Black, and after a long conversation, Harry turned back to went to his herbology class. But he saw someone around the door, hiding and listening their conversation. He stepped forward and examined the door, but no one was there. After that, he went to his herbology class and joined Ron there. After a little while, Hermione also joined them. Both the boys asked Hermione that where she was, but he casually replied, "I was at library reading some books." And all three friends started making some casual conversation. But still Harry was curious about Black, and he asked Hermione and Ron to go to the next class and he will join them later. Then Hermione and Ron went to the Defense Against Dark Arts class, and Harry went to the way to boys' toilet. And at the corridor he heard a sound of breaking glass, and he went there and saw that the same bottle of the potion which Professor Snape made was there, and that was in broken form, and all the liquid was flowing out. He sat down there and tried to pick up the bottle, and at the same moment Professor Snape entered the corridor. He saw Harry with the same potions bottle, and unfortunately he misunderstood all the scene and thought that Harry was one who stolen the potion. He said, "So you are one who stole it, Mr. Potter?" And Harry replied, "No, let me explain it." But Professor Snape did not listen to any of the statement from Harry and held his arm and took him to Headmaster's office. Professor Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall were talking about the stolen potion. He pushed Harry between them and said, "Here is your thief. I saw him with the potion at the corridor." And all two professors got shocked, and Professor McGonagall said, "Mr. Potter, I never expected this from you." And Harry said, "Professor, no, I have not did that. Let me explain everything." And he described the whole scene. After that, Professor Snape said, "I did not saw anyone there except him." And Hermione and Ron entered the room. Hermione said to Professor Dumbledore, "Professor, you know that Harry can't do it." And Dumbledore replied in a sad voice, "But all the evidences are against him, and overall only Harry was one who knew that the potion is inside the drawer." And Professor McGonagall said, "Miss Granger, I think you and Mr. Weasley should go to your house room." And Hermione and Ron left the place sadly. And Professor McGonagall, Professor Dumbledore, and Professor Snape started to talk about Harry and said Harry to also join Hermione and Ron to the way to their room. Harry said to Ron and Hermione, "I have not did that." Hermione replied, "Yes, we know." And Ron also joined her. "We believe you, and we will get a way to get you out of it. Don't worry." And both the boys went to their room, and the girl also went to her room. All of three were sad about that. Harry and Ron went to their bed and started talking about the incident. And Hermione was thinking to how she can get Harry out of this. Suddenly Hermione get an idea. She remembered the time turner and opened her drawer and took the time turner out. She thought that she will went to the past and sort out everything. She started turning the time turner, and after a few minutes she got herself at the time of the starting of her biology class. She ran to the headmaster's office and saw Professor Dumbledore and Harry talking about Sirius Black, and she hid about the door, and when they finished their conversation, Harry shouted, "Who is there?" and Hermione ran and hides near the next wall to the headmaster's office. Harry inspected the door and went to the herbology class, and just after a minute, Dumbledore also left the office and went outside. As headmaster left, she saw Draco entered the office, and she hid near the door and saw Draco finding the potion, and she understood that the Draco was one who stole the potion. And as Draco opened the drawer, she got the potion, and Hermione took her wand out, pointed it to Draco, and she shouted. Draco's body got jammed. He fell there by holding the potion in his hand, and Hermione ran to the herbology class and joined both the boys. They asked her that where she was, and she smiled and replied, "I was at library reading some books." Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. Please like this video and share it to all your friends, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe.